Hi, my name is Solo P1 and today I'm going to be doing it's going to be a short review on the 2020 F1 Portuguese Grand Prix qualifying. As you can hear by my voice is shot. It's been like this since Thursday. I've got a throat cold. No, not COVID. A throat cold. I've been taking hot lemon water most of the weekend. But it's getting a little bit. Yesterday I couldn't hardly talk. Today at least I can talk a little bit. I was going to do a video yesterday on some other stuff on my channel. But because my voice was completely shut, there's no way I could have done it. But today I've managed to at least talk to try and get through this. Usually my reviews are like 45 minutes long. Today it's going to probably be 10 minutes. Tomorrow, hopefully by tomorrow, if my voice is cleared up, it's going to be a bit, the review for the race is going to be a bit longer. But today ain't going to be long. Let's just go through it. Let's start from a bit of the practice session. Well, on today's Saturday, Bottas come out and says, you know what? The sun is shining. The sun is shining today. What a lovely day. Looking all confident. You got the better of Hamilton in all the practice sessions. Come out and said, you know what? Sun is shining. I've had my coffee. I'd have my porridge. I'd have my little syrup. I'd have my little berries in my porridge. I'm pumped up to go. I'm ready to go. I'm going to do this. Probably listen to Rocky IV soundtrack. Probably got up this morning, put the Rocky IV soundtrack on his MP3 player or his iPad or streamed it to his stream box, whatever you call them. He's probably done that, listened to a bit of Bluetooth, bit of Spotify, and he's put the Rocky IV soundtrack on. Probably done his press-ups, done his pull-ups, and he goes, you know what, I'm ready to go. He probably looked in the mirror and says, I'm the man, I'm the man. Probably listened to the Karate Kid soundtrack. Probably got motivated and said, you know what, this is my day. This is my week. It should have been my week 2 weeks ago, but this week is my week. I've had a better of Louise all weekend, and now I'm going to do it. So he comes out, gets interviewed from Sky Sports, normal press. The old press talked to him, like, how do you think you're going to do today? He's come out and said the sun is shining. So he was looking confident, Valtteri Bottas. He was looking confident. But Lewis Hamilton, as we know, always got something under his sleeve. Personally, look, to be fair, I thought Lewis Hamilton was going to get, I thought Valtteri Bottas was going to get pole. The way Bottas was looking through this practice session, the way he was rolling on, I thought, you know what, he's going to get pole. I've generally thought that Lewis Hamilton was going to get pole. But, I mean, not Lewis Hamilton, Bottas. I thought Bottas was going to get pole. So, beginning the practice session, you had Max Verstappen coming out, doing his, him and Gasly, not in Gasly, him and Stroll looked like they was racing for real. And this is during practice. Practice 1 or 2, one of them. Surface was fresh. It was remember they've never been to this track before. The surface looks really new and clean, but it looked a bit slippery as well. A lot of the drivers complaining that the surface was slippery, which it was slippery. You could see him spinning everywhere. We had a few drivers spinning on the gravel. We had Max Verstappen coming here trying to get a toe off Stroll. Stroll getting a toe off Max Verstappen, going down the first straight, and then they hit each other. They hit each other. Personally, I blame on Max Verstappen. I don't care. I thought Stroll had it was in front. It was his line, and Max come over. He come over to take his line, and Max could have moved over, but he never. He went to the stewards. Steward said, "Look, it's a racing incident." You had Christian Horner, and you had Johnny Herbert arguing on TV about this situation. Actually, that was more entertaining than a practice session, to be fair. To be fair, practice 1 was like I was falling asleep. But that argument that Christian Horner and Johnny Herbert was having on Sky Sports F1, it was amazing. It was like watching a boxing fight ready to go. They were going at each other. You could see, and at the end, they respected each other's opinion, which I liked. Because the trouble with these people today on the internet, they think they know everything. They think their opinion's right. No, everybody's got their own opinion. You state your opinion, they state their opinion. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, but you respect their decision. And I mean, you respect their opinion. Because that's the way it is. You can't say you're wrong. Everybody's subjective. At the end of the day, right, if you think he's wrong, he's wrong. At the end of the day, right, the steward's made the decision. The steward says, right, racing incident. If it was Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton would have got a 10-second time penalty, a £50,000 fine. Yeah, back of the grid. You know that's what would have happened because it's Max Verstappen and Stroll. They're gonna let this one slide. Boom, racing incident. But for me, Max Verstappen should have got pinched. He should have got the grid penalty, but it never happened. It was a racing incident. Done. So that's what was happening practicing. You had Pierre Gasly, the Monza man, the man who come first in Monza. Well deserved. To me, he should be at Red Bull. Should be at Red Bull now, but he's not. You got the clown Albon still there. Albon's still there. Not good enough for that seat. He's good enough maybe for Williams. George Russell should be at Red Bull. George Russell should be at Mercedes. I don't understand why. I do not understand why that Mercedes didn't sign George Russell for next season. Look, Hamilton's won his 7th world title. George Russell comes in next season with Hamilton. Hamilton's got control really over the team. Yeah, he wins his 8th world title. George Russell supports him because it's his first season in Mercedes. Hamilton wins his 8th world title, does one, then George Russell gets equal cars, equal say over the car like Hamilton. That's what they should have done. They should not have kept Bottas at Mercedes after this season. This should have been Bottas' last season at Mercedes. Bottas does not warrant that seat. Just Charles Leclerc. I'd say the drivers that do warrant the seat. Charles Leclerc, he could drive there. Max Verstappen, he could drive there. George Russell, he could drive there. Lando Norris, he could drive there. You got all these drivers that could drive there. Bottas is not good enough to be at Mercedes. And that's it. And now that there's rumours going around that George Russell might lose his seat. Because you got these new owners at Williams mixing it up. They got these new owners and they want 2 drivers there for the future. They're going to keep Latifi there. Latifi's seat's safe by the looks of it. But there's rumours that someone might take Russell's seat because they know eventually they're going to lose him to Mercedes. Now you tell me if that's right. Come on, Toto. You already let one driver down in Ocon and now you're going to let another driver down. Why didn't you bite the bullet? Yeah, bite the bullet and take Russell to Mercedes. You should have done it. Look at Russell. I'll get onto Russell over the qualifying. So Gasly's up, back to Gasly. Gasly's engine was on fire. So Gasly comes out the car. He comes on a turn 4, turn 5. And his car goes on fire. Boom. That's him at the practice session. Drains come flowing off. He had practice free today in the morning. Which, you know what? I didn't even want to watch. I thought, you know what? I'll just stick to the qualifying and race. That's it. But I was watching practice free. Drain fell off. So the drain come off in the track. Bit like Baku when the drain come off. But with Baku, then guys put that drain on fast. With these guys, it got delayed by 15 minutes qualifying free. So we're watching for the first 15 minutes of qualifying. The guys trying to put the drain on. Trying to get it on, cement it down. Heat the cement up so it dries fast. So I thought this is the disaster. I thought at one point they're going to have the qualifying tomorrow. Martin Brundle was saying on TV that they might have the qualifying tomorrow. And I thought, what a disaster over the drain. Unbelievable. So, Q1 started. Right? Before we got started, look, Q1 started. Louise pulled out, goes top for about 10 seconds. Bottas comes out, straight away top again. So now, Bottas has still got the better of Louise. So now, usually, when it comes to Q1 and Q2, you see Louis start pegging him back. He'll start pegging Bottas back. Alright? But Bottas was still having the better of him. And at this point, I said to myself, he's going to get the better of Louis. I thought this weekend it's going to happen for him. He's going to get the better of Louis. He's done it for a whole of practice. He's doing it in qualifying 1. He's going to get the better of Louis. Then Max goes top. Right? Then Max goes top again. And then after that, Bottas pulls out another lap, then Louis. So it's the same 3 again. At the end of Q2, you got Max, Bottas, Louis. Not in that order, but you got them three at the top. We know how it's going to go. Rinse and repeat. So, what impressed me? If they could have a driver of the day for qualifying, I would have gave it to Russell. Russell put that car, knocked out Kimi into Q2. Russell put that car, what it meant to be in Q2, out-qualified Kimi Räikkönen and the same old guys underneath him. Two Haas guys out-qualified. Out-qualified Kimi, all them guys. Latifi, always Latifi out-qualifies. And he went straight into Q2. That's why he should be at Mercedes. This should have been George Russell's last season at Williams, and he should be going into Mercedes. Toto, you're a good manager, mate. I'll give it, yeah, you're a good team manager at Mercedes. Probably one of the best of all time. Probably going to go down as the greatest of all time team manager in F1. One of the great, But you're not you're not a good agent, are you? You let Ocon go on the side for 1 year. All right, he done his DTMs and he does his quali sims and he was in a simulator. But it's not Formula 1, is it? It's not really Formula 1. And now the same thing potentially is going to happen to George Russell. To me, I'll say it again. I said it last week and I say it the weeks and I said it week in, week out. George Russell, to me, is the second best driver on the grid. And people are going to come out and say to me, oh yeah, no he isn't. How is he? It's Max. It's this guy. It's Bottas. Well, no one's going to say Bottas, let's face that. It's Max. It's Max. It's Max. No, it isn't Max. It's George Russell. Yeah, but he's not getting into Q3. Yeah, because he's in a Williams. Stick George Russell in a Red Bull and then you'll see Wagwan. Stick George Russell in a Red Bull. Stick George Russell. Yeah. Stick George Russell in a McLaren. Stick George Russell in a Mercedes. That's where we should be, in a Mercedes. So potentially George Russell, if George Russell is not in F1 next year, right, that'll be a disaster. Ocon was a disaster, but George Russell is an even bigger disaster if he's not in Formula 1 next year. That will be a big disaster. So you got Q2 started. Medium tyres. So the Mercedes put the medium tyres on, so their stint tomorrow, they're going to be on the medium tyres. That's a safe option. Nobody really knows how far the tyres can go on this track because they've never been on this track before. Nobody knows how far the soft tyres can go. So the easy option is the medium tyres. So most people tomorrow, unless you're at the back, I think if you're at the back, starting on the soft. But the guys at the front, the top 5, top 6, are going to be on the medium tyres. So that's a decent, that's good. So medium tyres come out. Hamilton backed out. He spotted his first stint. He had to back out because he was stuck behind some. Vettel got in his way. He weren't talking about Vettel. Vettel got in his way. Talking about Vettel, look at them day. Vettel's not happy with the car. To me, I'll say at the beginning of the season, Vettel don't care about Ferrari. The day Vettel lost interest, when Vettel lost interest in Ferrari, right, is when they didn't renew his contract. They didn't negotiate. They just sent him a little email or whatever they sent him, and they said, "You know what? We don't want you anymore. Your services are no longer needed. Hit the bricks. See you later. We don't want you. We don't want you, Vettel. You're not good enough. We don't want you." So as soon as they said that, Vettel goes, "Yeah, you don't want me. You don't want me. You don't want to negotiate with me. You'll see what happens this week. I mean, you see what happens this season. It might be 8 races, but with 9 races. But you see what happens." Vettel does not give a crap about Ferrari. Trust me. So Vettel gets in the way of Hamilton. Hamilton puts his hand up and says, "Come on, what's going on?" They carry on. Hamilton does another lap. He comes out. Comes behind Bottas. So Bottas has still got the measure of him by this point. Bottas is still pulling out the laps. Max is getting closer. And at the end, and that was it. At the end of the Q2. Bottas was in there. Hamilton and Max. Same old names. Albon, nowhere to be seen again. Albon is not going to be at that team next year. Christian Horner is coming out in the press and saying publicly, a few weeks ago, so nah, we're going to get behind Albon. We're going to get behind this. Yeah. We know how it goes. Bullshit. Just like when Sergio Perez come out and said, oh, I'm not going nowhere from Force India. I got a 2-year contract. And then a week later, you find out they're letting him go for Sebastian Vettel. We know how it goes. You got him coming out in the news 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago it was. He goes, nah, we're going to give Albon a chance. Albon's with us for the long run. Albon's got potential. Albon's got his very confidence. Confidence! I've seen more confidence in a 4-year-old baby than Albon. Albon's coming out in the radio every week and he's saying, oh, it's too hard. You don't belong in Formula 1. You may not like it, Albon, Red Bull fans, but he don't belong in Formula 1. Okay? Coming out and saying, they're being hard to me in the race. They're being hard. You don't belong in Formula 1. I think it was at Mugello. Mugello or Russia, one of them. I think it was Mugello. So you got Albon complaining. Albon nowhere near Verstappen again. Christian Horner, I'll go back to my boy. Christian Horner saying, look, you got a couple of races to get your shit together, basically. He said, look, you got a couple of races to show where you finish. So basically, he's coming out and saying, if you don't finish in a good position in the next 2 races, you're not going to be in Formula 1 anymore. You're not going to be in Red Bull. Because your other seats are taken, so you're going to be doing your DTMs. Good Formula 1 career, by the way. Yeah. He should have stayed in Toro Rosso. He was all right there. He should have came and took them. He was at Toro Rosso for 6-7 races, and then he went straight to Red Bull. I know you went there because Horner called you, but at the end of the day, right, you should have stayed. How about you thinking now? You should have stayed. Yeah, you should have stayed in Toro Rosso. Gasly should be at Red Bull, but the rumours. Now look. I wanted Gasly to go there. I don't think it's going to happen. But I think that the person who's going to go to Red Bull, right, because they said they're going to see outside the Red Bull program. I think the guy who's going to go to Red Bull, yeah, is going to be Perez now. That's the big rumours going around. Perez got an interview yesterday. He says, oh, I've got to wait a couple of weeks. Christian Horner's coming out in the news and saying, look, you got a couple of races to show your stuff to Albon. So it doesn't take a genius to work that one out. Who's going to be taking his seat? I think it's going to be Perez. And if Perez doesn't get the seat, he'll be going to go to Williams. That's where he's going. He's still got a couple of weeks. So that's my pick. Albon will not be there. He's not going to get third. He's not going to get third or fourth in the next 2 races. It's not going to happen. If it didn't happen now, it's not going to happen in the next couple of races. It's going to be worse now that Christian Horner is putting the pressure on him. So Daniel Ricciardo hits his car, goes into the gravel, managed to recover. He got out of the pits. This was in Q3 now. He got not in Q2. He got out of the gravel, went back to the pits, and started messing with his wing. But if it was another minute, he said if he had another minute, he could have made it into Q3, but he never. So he doesn't get pick of his tyres. I don't know what tyres he's going to start off on, but he doesn't, because he never finished at the end of Q2. He got through, but because he couldn't get out there, right, he don't get pick of tyres because of his wing. They didn't fix his wing in time. And it was a shame, because Ricciardo was showing a bit of promise towards the end, but he kind of slipped on that corner. I think it's a similar place where Gasly car started on fire. I think it was turn 4. So Q3 started now. This is where I don't care what anybody says. Bottas, Bottas, to me, I'm not saying he would have got pole, but for me, he kind of got screwed. But it's understandable. He's not going to win the world title. Mercedes want to win the Constructors this weekend. It's a bit of a long shot, but it's not mathematically impossible. They can still win the Constructors this weekend. So Bottas has to stay in line. They want a Mercedes 1 and 2. That's what they want at Red Bull. Max Verstappen might have something to say about that, but as far as Mercedes want 1 and 2. Mercedes concerned, they want 1 and 2. But Max Verstappen might have something to say about that, because Max Verstappen is looking fast around this track, looking very fast. And where he starts tomorrow, which I'm going to get on today, where he starts tomorrow, it's on the good side of the track. Bottas is on the dirty side of the track. So you got Q3 coming in. They give, I think he comes out, Hamilton comes out, does a flyer. Bottas comes out, does a flyer. So, and then Bottas goes faster than Hamilton. So what happened is they gave Bottas one, and then they came, you know, when they got the last Q3, they have a one goal, and then they go do a fast lap, and then they come in and wait for the last stint. So Bottas was on top, Hamilton was second. And then what happened? They come into the pits, there's 4 or 5 minutes to go. And what happens is they gave Hamilton 2 laps for a flyer. They gave Bottas only 1 lap. They were saying at the end of the session, when it finished, they were saying, Bottas says, I don't understand. I'm going to talk to him why I didn't get enough petrol to do 2 fast laps. And straight after that, one of the Mercedes guys coming to the news, coming to Sky Sports said, it was Bottas' decision. I don't think it was Bottas' decision. I think they made the decision for him and he just went along with it. So but what happened is they gave Hamilton 2 laps. So Bottas come out, done the second stint, about 2 minutes to go. He gets the fastest lap. Hamilton comes second. Then Max Verstappen comes third. So Bottas is on pole now. He's on pole. He had the fastest time in the first sector, in the first Q3, the first half. And the second half, he got the fastest lap again. Max comes second. Louise comes third. So Louise had one more lap of petrol in him to do another fastest lap. So he done 1 cool down lap, charged up his batteries, his ERS, his DRS. He charged up his ERS and his battery, and then he went for another flyer. And right at the end, he picked Bottas to pole. And that was one of the greatest poles I've ever saw. Like I said at the beginning, it's up there with Silverstone 2018 and Singapore 2018. That was an amazing pole. Amazing from Lewis Hamilton. I thought, look, when Hamilton was going for his last stint, when he went for another one, I thought he won't have enough grip in his tyres. Right? His car would be a bit lighter because from the previous lap, but I thought, nah, he's not going to have enough grip. And he nailed sector after sector after sector, 2 purples and a yellow. The yellow, I think it was the middle sector, it was a bit slow, but the last sector he made up for it and he got pole. So he went from third at the end, straight past Max, past Bottas into first, and he got the pole. Amazing pole by Lewis Hamilton. And I don't care what Bottas is saying, his head must be shot. He must be thinking, look, I know I'm not going to win the world title, but I just want a pole. I want to win 1 race, and he can't do it. He cannot do it. Lewis always has the better of him. He ekes out that extra time, and at the end of the qualifying, all the rest of us saying, maybe if the strategy, that's probably what done Bottas. No! That's not what done Bottas. Bottas has been trying to get pole. He's got about 2 poles this year. 2 poles. Hamilton's got 9 poles this year. 9 poles. And I think Bottas has got 2. And the first one Bottas got, he only got that because Hamilton was on a flyer in Austria. He went onto the gravel and the green light come out and Hamilton had to slow down. That's the only reason why he got pole in Austria. So that could have been 10 poles. Exactly. And Paul the rest said, maybe they've done Bottas and strategy. No. And there's Johnny Herbert, nah. But you got to give it to Lewis what he done. He just corrected Paul di Resta straight away. Paul di Resta just doesn't like Lewis. Johnny Herbert straight away corrected Paul di Resta because no, at the end of the day, you got to respect what Lewis done. Look what he done. And he deserved it. Done. Just like that. And that's it. And it was over. Hamilton got pole. It's all over Twitter. It's all over Twitter. Let me put my Twitter up. Look there. It's all over that. Where there's a will, there's a way. Call the fans. Yes, Lewis, yes. Lighting up Twitter. Lewis Hamilton picked the pocket of Valtteri Bottas to steal pole for Formula 1 Portuguese Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas completed the sweep of Portuguese. Yeah. There you go. That was the tweet before. These are all the recent one. Lewis Hamilton talking about. Yeah, look, all the people going 1 time, 2 time. Pole, 97 poles. 97 poles. That is absolutely amazing. There's his pole there, which you'll be hearing later. Pole. Who's going to start? And as soon as you got that pole, the first thing I said is, he's like the Black Superman. So, that's Lewis Hamilton. Now let's get onto the official, how it finished. I'm not with it today. Hold on, let's get it. Put qualifying. I'll get through this. So we got on qualifying. Lewis Hamilton on pole. Second, Valtteri Bottas. Third, Max Verstappen. Same people. Fourth, Charles Leclerc. Fair play to Charles Leclerc. They brought an upgrade this week. Yeah. They brought upgrade this week, and obviously it's working for him. Sergio Perez, 5th place, 6th place, Albon. Like I said before that, Vettel didn't even get out of Q2. Vettel does not give a crap about Ferrari. He's going to be smoking a zoot with Toto tonight. He's going to be at his hotel room with Toto, smoking a blunt. Yeah, with Toto, sipping a bit of champagne because he's got his Aston Martin contract in the bag. He don't give a crap about Ferrari, trust me. Carlos Sainz, 7th place. 8th place, Lando Norris, 8th place. 9th place, Pierre Gasly. 10th place, Ricciardo. 11th place, Esteban Ocon. 12th place, Lance Stroll. 13th place, Daniel Fiat. 14th place, George Russell. 15th place, Sebastian Vettel. Jesus. 16th place, Kimi Räikkönen. 17th place, Antonio Giovinazzi. 18th place, Roman Grosjean. 19th place, Kevin Magnussen. And 20th place, Nicholas Latifi. And that's how we finished. As you can see, we've got the interviews. We're going to do 3 interviews. Yeah. The top 3, we're going to have Max Verstappen first. He says, happy with 3rd despite tricky qualifying conditions. Advertisements.
Almost, but not quite. Do you think you could have got onto the front row today?
Well, I mean, from my side, I think, yeah, we had a decent qualifying. I think it's just very hard to get the tires in the right window. But of course, that's for a lot of people like that. But still, I'm happy with 3rd. Yeah, like I said before, it was so hard the whole weekend just to make the front tires work, then the rear tires, and I think we did a good job in Q3. It was more or less working, not everywhere, but good enough for P3, so it's a good starting position.
Do you think that'll balance out once you've got heavy fuel in the car, or will it still be a struggle in the race conditions?
Well, the first few laps for sure will be a little bit of a struggle, but then of course when you just keep running and instead of doing like fast, slow, fast, it will be a bit easier. So normally I don't expect too many trouble, but of course tomorrow it's going to be very windy and a chance of rain as well. So yeah, hopefully that will make it quite interesting.
If it does stay dry, you're on a different strategy to both the Mercedes and Charles behind you. Could work out in your favour.
Yeah, let's hope. But at the moment, yeah, it's difficult to say. But we just committed to it because we thought it was the best, and we'll find out tomorrow if it was correct or not.
So, chance of rain tomorrow. Windy. Make it interesting. I totally agree with him there. What else we got? Where's Bottas? Here we go. When you have the advantage, you must execute. Oh yeah, you don't. Advertisement, sorry.
Does that one hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet, man. You had it all weekend. Like, all weekend.
But it doesn't matter. It's the Q3 that matters, you know.
But you know you've got the car, you know you've got the confidence. You're the form man this weekend, regardless of what the grid looks like.
Yeah, for sure I know it. And, you know, but it's just when you have the speed and when you feel like you have that advantage, you have to execute, you have to get the results. So that's why it's annoying. And I think today, ultimately, it came down to the decision to go for either 1 or 2 times at the end. I chose to go for 1 time because that worked in Q2, but for some reason not anymore in Q3. So yeah, it's annoying.
Just got to get the jump at the start tomorrow. It looks like it's going to be hard to pass here.
It feels like it's pretty difficult track to overtake. But yeah, you never know. At least I know that the base is there, and I need to try and find a way how to beat Louise.
So you can see by the sound of his voice, he knows if he doesn't get in that first turn tomorrow, it's over. We all know it's over. It's very hard to take over here. Not as hard as Monaco, but it is hard to take over here. He knows it, and he's on the dirty side of the track as well. So that's not good for him. So where we've got Louise, we've got Louise here. Yep. He says, Portuguese Grand Prix pole position was well earned. It was. More adverts, I bet you.
Was quite the sensational. That was quite the sensational brace of laps at the end there. Absolutely astonishing. How good did it feel being at one with the car out there, being able to just extract it when it mattered?
Well, I don't know if I was at one with the car, but they did. You know, it was. You know, I know people would think. You know, people often comment how we got the fastest car, and they assume it's easy. I can only tell you that there's not a moment this weekend or this year that it's been easy. You know, every time you have to go out and still do the job. Valtteri's getting stronger and stronger throughout. And if I don't do the job that I know I can do, which is not easy to do, then he'll be leading the championship. And yeah, but that lap was really. I didn't know whether it was going to happen. The lap started out relatively well, but I was level with a time that I'd done before, which wasn't quickest. But then the last couple of corners, I think particularly, I saw the delta start to improve, and I came around the last corner and I was like, I'm up, keep it. And so, yeah, it felt well earned.
You have a habit of doing this, of seemingly pulling it back from watching Valtteri be at the top of the practice sessions and maybe at the top in qualifying, and then with your last run you turn it on like Muhammad Ali used to with the rope-a-dope. He'd sort of lean back against the ropes and just wait. And his opponent would tire himself out and then just bang, in with the punch. Do you have that? Do you have that like stored, or is it just, as you say, you have to find that extra?
I don't know if I have it stored. I know it's there. It's just not easy to. It's not like I can go out at any point and just do the quickest lap. It's timing is everything, and precision, and aligning all the sections. It's not easy to do. You see, Valtteri I think was quickest in each sector, but on different laps, and I had to do the most balanced lap at the end. I think I always think I can be the quickest. But I think the biggest improvement this year is that when it counts, when it really counts in Q3, I'm more often than not been able to deliver. And that's been a real a step forward, I think, at least compared to last year.
And that's the story of today. That's it. Lewis Hamilton on pole and won the race. And we won got the pole. And he's going to be starting tomorrow on pole. And Bottas is going to be on the dirty side. The only chance that Bottas has got, he has to get a good start. He has to try and get a good start and try and move over to Lewis' side fast and hope and pray that Lewis has a bad start. But it's rare that Lewis has a bad start. Max is just gonna be behind him, behind Bottas, behind Hamilton. So he's on the clean part of the track, being third, and fourth place. I think it's Charles in fourth place. So that's going to be interesting. So, I'm going to leave you now, guys. Sorry it was a short review. My throat is shut. I've been going 34 minutes. I did say 10 minutes, but it's 34 minutes. Hopefully tomorrow, my throat's a little bit better and I can do a longer review. So I'm going to leave you with Lewis Hamilton's onboard lap. I'm going to disappear now. And I'm going to play Lewis Hamilton's onboard lap. Probably advertisements. There you go, advertisements. So I'm going to leave you with Lewis Hamilton's onboard lap, his pole lap, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.